All right,
Oh, you didn't
Smu,
hit
member
me.
for 2 months. Insert random message here. Oh, hi, Mark. Okay, see, I got that one right away. Ha, suckers. Nailed it. Thinking I'm too
Gotcha.
dumb to read
Gotcha.
things. Proved them wrong. With one fell swoop of reading one line of text. With but 2 sentences, technically.
Yeah, it's easy to read, I guess.
Moving up in the world. There you go.
Yep.
One of these days.
I mean,
I'll
it's
get
better
an
than the
entire
9 words your
paragraph.
wife gets on FNT sometimes.
Yeah. I don't know. I think she's advanced to double digits. Don't tell Gary.
Touche. Yeah, that's
It's one of those things like she's not allowed, but she does it, and we let her get away with it for now. I think the secret answer is she speaks more than 9 words, and like it's like it's not
Absolutely.
it's not allowed, but it's like but you can get away with it. It's like the way organized crime bosses kind of have a bit of a stable relationship with the vice squad. So it's like, hey, let's keep the guns out of the thing. Like, you guys can keep the drug running and stuff. We'll still arrest you if we need to, but we know you're doing this, and we kind of need a known element to have it to keep order in this area. Like, I don't know. You ever watch The Wire?
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what The Wire is entirely about.
Yep. That's written by an ex-cop as well.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, but that's and I think it does a good job telling the stories of not just the cops, but also the criminals, like at all levels, in the organized crime gangster type dudes, the hitmen, and just the kids who get sucked into dealing drugs. They all kind of get their moment in that show. It's a pretty good show.
It's a well-written show, though.
Yeah, it's well done. It's HBO, early 2000s HBO. It's one of the great examples of, hey, this is why people like HBO, man.
I mean, remember the Pacific or Band of Brothers? Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer Band of Brothers to the Pacific. They're both quite good.
Band of Brothers is really good, yeah.
Band of Brothers, the episode Why We Fight. That one makes me cry as much as Sound of Freedom did. Yeah, and Andrew Matthews got a great point there. Rome is another fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Canceled too soon.
Yeah, HBO had some great stuff.
It was very expensive though, so I kind of understand why it was canceled, but it still made me sad. I did like the method that they used by which to finish the series though, because they said, okay, season 2 is going to be it. You got to finish the series in this season, so do whatever you got to do, like kill off the characters, whatever. And they decided to take the 5-season storyline that they had and just condense it down to short films, or basically, or not even very short, because a lot of the episodes were like an hour and 20 minutes long. So it's like, okay, is that at that point, is that a movie? And they would each take place years after each other. So it'd be like episode 1 happens, and then like a decade and a half later, episode 2, and then 5 years after that, episode 3. So it's like there's big time jumps between each episode, and the way they did that was like, hey, here's like the season finales of all of all the seasons that we would have done, kind of thing. And I was like, oh,
that would
that's a
irritate
neat way
me
to
as
do
a showrunner.
Well, I think their thing was, though, it's like, hey, we'd rather tell our whole story than the first third of our story, like, and I thought that was, I think they did it well too, because when you think about it, it's like, that sounds crazy, but it's like, there's a lot of movies that you just watch the one movie and it's a full story from beginning to end. And there's a lot of movie series where the next film picks up and it's those same characters years later dealing with a different conflict or an evolved version of the conflict that started in the previous movie. So I don't know.
It reminds me of Firefly a little bit.
I mean, I don't know. Did Firefly do that? I thought the Firefly.
They had season 1, and then they made the Serenity movie.
Yeah, so Serenity takes place as if it has been a couple years since season 1, and they've sort of been on the run together for a while. So I guess that is, I suppose, kind of similar. But I guess it's different in the sense that Rome did it in one season of a TV show. Like it did it within season 2 of Rome. They're like, this new version of season 2 of Rome, because we found out that we're getting canceled and we've got to do what we got to do to make this a satisfying thing to watch in this season, because there will be no season 3. There will be no movie special. Although I think for a while they were talking about doing a movie and having that pick up for we were going to think about maybe doing a spin-off show afterwards if Rome did well, where it's I don't think it's Titus. Wait, who's friggin' Soap McTavish's character? The redhead. Who's the redhead guy?
Yeah. What's the name of that guy again? Keep forgetting his name.
Oh god, he's good in the show too. I feel bad now. I guess I just remember Titus Polo so well because it's an interesting name. But anyways, the other guy, the guy with the red hair, and he voices Soap McTavish in the Call of Duty games, or at least in the original ones. So that's kind of one of those things that I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I know. He's
Kevin McKidd?
Yeah, Kevin McKidd. Yeah, that's the guy's name. That's the actor for sure. I don't remember the character though, or his name. But I think it was him post crucifixion of Jesus and dealing with like the Roman Empire's morphing into something different than it was. And
Lucius Vorenus?
Vorenus, yeah, Vorenus. Or Varanus.
I remember the first name, but I wasn't sure about the second name. I was like,
yeah.
I need to Google that real quick.
Yeah, I probably would have had to too. It's for the record, if everyone's like fake Rome fan, like it has been years since I've seen Rome, and I still remember a good deal of it. So that counts for something. Although at the same time, it's more difficult to remember the names of the characters in the show who aren't like notable historical figures, because there's so many characters on the show. For example, James Purefoy plays Mark Antony, and they're like Julius Caesar is Kieran Hines. Kieran, I think is how you say that. Kieran Hines.
Kieran Hines, yeah.
Yeah, he's Julius Caesar in it, and
very fitting because he looks like him.
Yeah, it was a really good casting. I was like, holy shit, this is I feel like,
the dude looks like Julius Caesar, like seriously.
Like on a normal day. Like he's not in makeup. Good actor too.
Holocron's bringing up Babylon 5 as well. Yeah, they did a similar thing too. Speaking of which, they announced that there's going to be a re-release on Blu-ray for Babylon 5.
Oh, right on.
And allegedly it's with better what's the name? With better resolution and everything. So I'm quite curious about that.
There's also the animated movie coming out soon, right?
Yes, I heard that's still happening. Although there was rumors that it was cancelled, and then it was picked up again, then it was cancelled again. So I saw it on It's been a weird one. Yeah.
Well, them song they're going to sell it.
I'm still surprised that they actually want to do the animated Firefly show, to be honest, because most of the cast is dead.
Most of the cast is dead for Firefly? Who died?
I heard that.
You mean the characters? Okay. When you say cast, I think you mean the actors.
I mean the characters. Don't worry. It still blows my mind that that show was considered to be too expensive back in the day. I was like, wow. Considering how much money studios throw at certain productions now, I'm like, yeah, that's ridiculous.